You join as we embark on the next phase of the Net Zero Living Programme. The council officers are now actually implementing their projects at a local level. This is make or break for all of the funded projects.
So implementation is much more than just delivering a few projects. It's about really making sure that we put in place the systems, the processes, the organisational change that means that we can do these things again and again and again. But this stage is really hard, and this is where things like politics and processes and pressure can really influence the outcome.
Decarbonising Oxford as a city, for the most part, is actually largely about decarbonising buildings. So the main barrier for most people is the sort of finance gap.
Action is not yet being sort of delivered at the pace and scale that is really needed if we're going to reach our net zero targets by 2030.
We need an ongoing conversation. We need to build that kind of culture, confidence, relationships across the organisation.
If we get this right, then we're not just changing things for today, but we're building a long-term pipeline for success.
So far we've trained more than 500 people in carbon literacy across the council, and we've had reach across all sorts of service areas and directorates, and we've extended our training to frontline teams as well so that we can reach beyond sort of the initial groups that might already be engaged in this area of work.
We've got up to about 20 organisations who are interested in either receiving funding or offering funding, but behind those 20 organisations we probably engage with 50 or 60 businesses and organisations in the City of Oxford who may at some point have been thinking about either supporting decarbonisation or implementing energy efficiency, but now that we've engaged with them directly, we've really helped them on their journey towards either funding projects or delivering projects themselves.
For this programme, we're not just funding this work, but we are supporting it. And we've put in place a whole ecosystem of partners to help these local authorities to deliver their projects successfully. We're working with the Involve Foundation on citizen engagement, the Carbon Trust for net zero planning, Regen, our partner, looking at policy and regulation, City Science and Bankers Without Boundaries are looking at finance and investment models. We're working with Innovate UK Business Connect on business engagement, and with Zulki looking at data and the opportunities that that can bring.
The funding from Innovate UK has enabled us to work with a technical partner called One Planet.
Bankers Without Boundaries, one of the technical assistance partners for the programme, has written us an economics model.
Regen, who are like specialists in certain like grid analysis, they've stepped in and helped us with like this understanding of TUNOS, which is to do with like the transmission grids.
Without the support from Innovate UK, this would have stayed a good idea on paper.
The impact has been absolutely huge, and I'd like to see this continuing. Honestly, we wouldn't have even reached the engagement phase without this programme.
Next time, we return to these councils at the end of their projects to see how they've navigated the pressures of delivery, adapted to what's worked, and managed the transition from short-term action to long-term change.